Hi, everybody. It's Jill Simonian from PragerU Kids. I have a friend with me today. Aldo, please pronounce your last name.
Aldo Buttazzoni, and you got to say it with the wrist.
Buttazzoni.
There we go.
Aldo Buttazzoni. You're one of our fresh new PragerU personalities here.
Yeah.
And you're doing really great work. And I do want to introduce Cam because, hi, Cam.
What's up, guys?
Cam is running the equipment, and that's who I was, you know, hollering at to do the big arm so that I can see we're live. Okay, today's January 10th. And if you saw this headline that we conveniently shared in the title of this Facebook Live, Aldo went to the LA Zoo, which invited children to a recent drag show. Now, I don't want to make light of this, but I may or may not laugh through some of this because of the pure absurdity of it. All of you know that I'm a parent. I help run our PragerU Kids educational shows here. If you're not a member already, go to PragerUkids.com. But right now, I want to watch this video that you did last week. This happened last Wednesday night at the LA Zoo?
Last Wednesday.
Okay, so last Wednesday at the LA Zoo, Aldo went there. Let's take a look and a listen. Are we good to go, Cam? I'm going to push play.
We are good to go.
All right, watch.
Attended Pride Night at the LA Zoo, which included an all-ages drag show. This event sold tickets not only to children, but to infants under the age of 2 years old and featured performers who show themselves online in bondage, stripping, in kink, smoking drugs, and holding bloody, decapitated heads. This is who the LA Zoo was inviting children and infants to see.
Is everybody drinking?
Yeah!
Yes, we're drinking. If you're not, you have a moment to go to the bar and grab a cocktail from our fabulous bartender.
So, Carolina, why did you bring your daughter to this performance tonight?
I just thought that it would be really fun to come with family. Like, I have family that's in the, you know, LGBTQIA community.
We have lots of nieces and nephews and little cousins, and yeah, even going to pride parades or drag shows or events like this that are family friendly, but yet still let everyone be inclusive and come as you are and be who you are. We love that.
So, Valora Von Teese, is that your name?
Me, yes.
And what were you doing out here tonight at the LA Zoo?
Living my life, god damn it. Yes, absolutely. It was LA Pride, so we just showed up and we just thought we'd give the children a little something to snack on, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So the video goes on. We're about 1 minute, 30 seconds in. Video goes on for 6 minutes. If you haven't seen this video yet, I really encourage you to watch it. I put the link in our title on this. It goes on and on. You were there. That was you asking the questions. Just give me your personal take on what happened there. Family friendly.
Family friendly, of course. And like she said, it's about inclusivity. It's about gay rights. It's definitely not about indoctrinating and grooming young kids. But that mother I spoke to was there with her 6-year-old daughter, and I saw multiple strollers with infants and toddlers in them. And that same mother said to me, you know, this is about normalizing this type of behavior. It was very sexually charged. It was highly sexualized. And I spoke to the director of equity programs at the beginning. You know, can you believe it? There was a director of equity programming at the zoo.
Aldo, there's a director of equity programs everywhere now.
Yeah, the elephants and the monkeys were complaining that they didn't feel included. So,
okay.
But I spoke to her, and I also spoke to the director of communications at the zoo beforehand, and they said there's nothing sexually charged about this event. It's family friendly. I then asked them at the end of the event, do you stand by these comments? And what do you know? They tried to get us kicked out of the park. They didn't want to be filmed. They couldn't answer the question. And that speaks volumes to how they felt about this. They were more offended by my questioning than they were anything that they saw there at the event. But like I said, very sexually charged, no place for kids. And like I said in the video, you know, this isn't about whether I deem drag tolerable or not. There's many things in society that you have to have a certain level of tolerance towards people engaging in behavior that you don't find acceptable. This is about kids though, and what I can't tolerate and what nobody should is the sexualization of young kids.
Yeah.
It was horrific. And since this video has gone live, the Valora Von Teese, who he showed there with the bloody decapitated head, she's deleted dozens of photos off her Instagram where she's smoking drugs and kink and bondage, denigrating the cross, denigrating the American flag. And again, was she embarrassed about it before? No, it's just that she got caught. And now she's scrubbing all these things. And that's why I go to these events. You know, I think it's good to guard your heart and to not be exposed to all these things, but somebody needs to go out there and expose what's going on, because it's not just dress up. It's a deliberate and intentional attempt to indoctrinate kids and to groom them. And the thing about kids, Jill, and you know this as a parent, is that every kid has a normal childhood because they have no frame of reference, right? Whatever they see and whatever you put in front of them is normal. And this is what the attempt is. It's to normalize this sexual type of behavior for kids, but it's not normal. And when it's happening at public events like this or public places like the zoo where our tax dollars go into it, I can't accept this, and nobody should. And we need to push back against this and form some legislation to stop this because, like I said, parents say, well, Aldo, just because you're against it doesn't mean that the other parents can't take their kids to it. Well, guess what? We don't allow any parent to give their kids alcohol or to show them porn. And we certainly shouldn't allow adult men to be stripping in front of kids. If this was adult women stripping in front of 4-year-old boys, there would be an outcry. But because it's gay men, there's just a pass.
Right. And we've talked about this before. And in fact, the day after you went, I remember we had a conversation right out there in the hallway, as we do quite frequently here at PragerU. And I said, as a mom, point blank, and I'll go on the record for saying this, and I've gone on the record before, I don't have a problem with adult entertainment for adults in an adult scenario where there is consent and adults only and it is prohibited for children. I really don't have a problem with that. If you want to do that, if that's something that you like to do, hey, don't take kids there and live your life. I have always said that, and I stand by that. But this at the zoo is wrong. And another thing too, and I want you guys to weigh in on this in the comments, if you are in Los Angeles or even if you aren't in Los Angeles, this is hard for me to say because, as moms and dads and parents and everything, we always like to say everyone has their own parenting style and we should always uplift parents who are raising their kids. But there is good parenting and there is bad parenting. And this is bad parenting. And this is a parenting problem also. I mean, I'm putting myself in the position of, say I wasn't a mom, say I, wasn't working here for PragerU Kids and I had an alternative lifestyle. Say I had an event company, okay, that had drag queens and the LA Zoo called and said, hey, we want your company to come and do this show. And, we want it to be family friendly. And here's what you're going to get paid. And of course, I'm going to say, oh, absolutely. Let's go. It's a paycheck.
Right.
Times are tough. There's inflation. People are having a good time. Of course, these event companies, adult event companies, are going to go to these places that call to hire them. But this is a parent problem that you yourself interviewed the mom who was there with the toddler, with the infants. You see the performers stripping. It's a strip show. You do not take children to a strip show. Right. And that is the bottom line. And it's a big parenting problem. And parents have lost their way. And I don't want to get super, I don't want to make really broad stroke assumptions here. But I can't help but think that it's because our education system has been desecrated for 20 plus years. And the young parent that you interviewed, I'm just going to assume that she was part of our education system that we have seen being dismantled with indoctrinating young kids with non-value based knowledge.
Yeah.
And this is what we're seeing now.
Yeah,
we're seeing this parenting problem.
And I almost
now.
feel for the parents or for the people because, like she said, she wants to be inclusive and she wants to show that she's accepting of gays. Well, but that's a whole nother story. This is not about including and being accepting of gays. This is not about pride, but it's the way that they market it, that it's about gay rights and it's about gay acceptance. But this is not what it's about. What in that video, and if you watch the whole video, you'll see this wasn't about gay pride. It's not about gay rights. What are they supposed to be celebrating? What are they supposed to be proud of? This is, you saw the young kids there, 3 years old, tipping them as they stripped. This is a strip show, and kids have no business being there. No. But we're lied to and we're told, well, this is about inclusivity. This is about gay rights. It's about none of those things. And yeah, it is a total dismantling of our education system. And kids are suffering. Like I said before, this is about normalizing and pushing the LGBT narrative and indoctrinating kids. And it ultimately is not just dress up. It leads them down this road to ultimately the radical left's gender ideology that tells these young kids, well, you can change your gender, you can change your sex as long as you go through with these life-altering gender surgeries or you chemically castrate yourself. And as a kid, they don't know better. They question their gender and sexuality.
And if you don't, and I will add this, because many of the schools are teaching this, particularly here in California, as well as several other states who have now adopted this, what they call comprehensive sex ed. They tell children exactly what you describe, and if they don't subscribe to it, then those children are essentially labeled as oppressors.
Right.
And
they feel
that's
like
a
outcasts.
And they feel like the outcasts, and all of a sudden they're the bully because they think, well, you know what, my parents and my home and my values in my church, well, I don't necessarily believe that, and it doesn't matter if that child, treats everyone with the golden rule and treats everyone across the spectrum with respect. That child is then labeled as a bigot, an oppressor, because they do not subscribe to what this comprehensive sex ed in schools is now teaching children to question their identity, to, like you said, castrate themselves and do irreparable harm with drugs and or surgery. We have something, although you know about this, I know about this, Cam knows about this, everything. It's the, what we're doing here at PragerU Kids is we're trying, for the month of January, we're trying to educate folks, everyone, young, old, grandparents, teachers, I don't care who you are, we're trying to educate everyone about the frankly obscene attack on children right now and the sexualization of children. And we do have, and I've pulled this up on the screen, we have what's called our Protect Children's Innocence Pledge. And January is National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and we really are committed to fighting evil in all of its forms, including, but not limited to, the exploitation and sexualization of children. And I shared this link in the headline as well on this live. You can, read through. We're not the organization that physically goes through and rescues these minors who have been, taken and exploited. But we are the organization who aims to educate all of us. And I myself I was very, very uneducated about this. And in many ways I still am. And I'm trying to learn how it's scary, how easily predators really do have access to our kids.
Oh my gosh.
Online. Yes. Now I'm seeing through schools. I mean, is this something that was on your radar before you came here, or it's new to you too?
Well, I've slowly been getting more educated about it, but I've been covering these drag shows that really are predatory and exploiting children for a long time in my journalistic and independent journalism career. I broke the original story in Dallas, Texas, that family-friendly drag show.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You're sitting here right next to me. I had no idea.
So I've been covering this for a while. Okay. And, you guys going up and signing for this pledge, it really shows us that you're in this fight with us, because it can't just be me in the fight. It can't just be me calling it out and exposing these things. Because the sad truth is this is happening across the country, and we really need your help. And you know what? I'll say here today that if you're a drag queen in the LA area, I will be there to expose you. I will be there to take you down, and you're exploiting kids. I'll be there. And you guys going to the site and signing this pledge really validates that and helps us, show that you guys are in the fight with us, and it really helps. So please go to the site and sign this pledge so that we can be empowered to go and continue protecting our children's innocence.
And and like I said, it's all about educating ourselves, spreading awareness, and protecting our children's innocence so that they are not put into age-inappropriate situations when they are not physically, psychologically, developmentally, mentally ready to do so. I mean, the thing that kills me is that there are statistics everywhere, research that has proven if you expose a child to particularly sexual events or images or, things, acts, everything, that child is traumatized for life, and that they carry that trauma with them. And this is, I hate to be, I try not to speak in hyperbole a lot, because it's very easy for people to say, oh my gosh, she's being dramatic, that crazy mom's being dramatic. But what is happening is state-sanctioned child abuse.
100%.
That is what's happening. And people are not, I don't know if we're just too scared to see it, but it's ugly. It's ugly to see, but it's something that we need to see. So sign the pledge. The link is in the title here, and you will, by signing the pledge, obtain. We will be emailing you various videos, educational videos about really what is happening in the child exploitation that's happening around the world and right here in our communities in America. Cam, do we have any comments? Aldo and I have droned on and on and on and on and on. But it's such good. Thank you for being here with me, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I could talk about this forever.
Yeah, I mean, I was with Aldo when we went, and it was probably like one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my whole life. Especially the comments. The one drag queen, Valora Von Teese, said, "Just need to give the children a little something to snack on after having taken money from children."
Yeah.
But I think what was even crazier was when the parents would usher the children to the front of the stage and tell them to give them money.
That's a problem.
And they would throw money at these people as if they were strippers.
That's a problem. Do we have any comments in the Facebook feed, I'm wondering?
You
Oh, no, I wanted your comments. Are you kidding me? Of course I wanted your comments.
Okay. We are getting some comments.
Okay.
Yeah. Mostly about the event not being family friendly, asking why this was happening at the zoo as opposed to like a private event.
Right.
Well, I spoke to the director of equity programming, like I said, and she said that this is part of a big push at the zoo as a whole to be more inclusive, and they want to do more events like this. Hopefully, after they saw our video and we put them on blast, they're reconsidering that. You know, they did the same thing at the Fresno Zoo, the drag show, and that got pushed back.
And I am from Fresno.
Okay.
Fun fact. I am from Fresno. And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but anytime anyone says Fresno, I'm like, when that happened at Fresno, many people who I know who still live there were sending me notices with a flyer saying, "Oh my gosh, can you believe that?" And they went through with it. I mean, there was significant pushback, I think. Good. I believe they covered it on the news. But for it to happen in Fresno is a Central California town. It, quite frankly, is very, it's very diverse in terms of thought diversity. There are conservatives there are liberals there. It is very much a reasonable place, generally speaking. It's very, I call Los Angeles an unreasonable place because we are very radicalized here. But Central California is a very reasonable place. And when I heard that happened in Fresno months ago, I was shocked.
Well, this is what I was saying in terms of it's going on everywhere, because even like I was living in Texas the last 2 years, and even in the conservative stronghold of Texas, there were family-friendly drag shows practically every weekend. So this happens everywhere. It's not just in the most liberal places. It can happen in the most conservative areas. It's so pervasive, and they are going everywhere. And something I would just like all the viewers to think about is, why are these adults and teachers even so adamant about talking about sex and gender with other people's children, right? Why do these drag queens, why are they not satisfied with just doing drag in front of adults? Why are they so adamant about doing this in front of kids? And when you think about that question, I think you come back with a lot of revealing and, quite frankly, disgusting answers, because they are really pushing this on kids. And parents have a right to determine when and how it's appropriate to talk about these things with their kids. And you can't convince me that other adults and teachers that really want to force themselves into this discussion with your kids aren't groomers and aren't predators.
That's a scary question. Yeah, it's a scary question. Any comments that you want to share from the Facebook feed?
Seems
people are just shocked,
the general,
or they're not shocked anymore.
I know, I'm getting so just
the general
jaded.
mood seems to be people primarily mad at parents and saying that they will never visit the LA Zoo again. So, if you guys have any questions, comment them and I'll ask them to Jill.
Yes.
So in that vein, though, I want to encourage everyone to make your voices heard. It's not enough to just be outraged and comment on Instagram and Twitter.
With
while
us.
that helps, but we do need to actually have some real pushback. Email the zoos what you think about this. Let them know what you think. I had a lot of comments in the wake of this video saying that there were members of the zoo and they pulled their membership. And that is where it hurts, and that is where they really get the message that we can't keep doing this because people are mad, and they're not just mad online, but they're pulling their memberships. And so that's where the real change is made. But send them an email, let them know what you think. That is how we win this fight.
That's true. That's true. Thank you for that. See, when you have young, fresh brains working here, they have the energy to have actionable items. I appreciate. Thank you. That's true.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. Okay, so now I want to talk about real inclusivity for a moment, because what we're trying to do here at PragerU Kids is foster real inclusivity. And in case any of you who are new to PragerU Kids don't know, we have our Otto's Tales Storytime show, which I read the stories to the children.
So
and I know you watch it all the time, Aldo. I know.
I love
So
Otto's
this
Tales.
is it is really sweet. Otto's Tales is a fun storytime show that we have. I have it up on our website here. All of you old original fans of PragerU kids already know about Otto's Tales, but for those of you who are new, we have our storytime show, and we also have a series of books. And the book series that we had last year was a monthly series that focused on American holidays. And of course, Martin Luther King Jr., his birthday is coming up in January, and MLK's dream was for a colorblind nation. I mean, that is the ultimate inclusivity. That is the ultimate inclusivity when you talk about a colorblind nation, learning about and learning about each other's character first, as opposed to our skin color. And this book is beautiful, and you can order it, even though it's from last year. It is still beautiful and amazing and relevant and really educational and fun to read for your kids. So that's on our website, and you can scroll on the Otto's Tales page and find all of our books and story times. And then we have a new series debut, Aldo.
Oh, I love it.
Do you know what it is? A new PragerU Kids series debut. You won't flunk if you don't know the title, but I'm gonna have you put these headphones on because we're gonna watch a bit of it. And while I have no idea. Go ahead. Okay. While he puts those headphones on and gets ready, I'll tell you one of the problems. Oh, now he can't hear me. Hold on.
I can hear you.
Here. Oh, good.
Yeah,
so one of the problems that we've talked about with, some of these parents taking their kids to age inappropriate events like sexualized drag shows is that this younger generation of parents has been completely blinded by political activism and agendas that have been in the schools that they've been raised with for the past 20 years. And they have been robbed of actually learning knowledge about American civics, American history, about our shared stories as Americans. And so that's what PragerU Kids aims to fill in the gaps and really restore the education that has been snatched away from previous generations. So this latest series that we have, drum roll, you have to do a drum roll if you're here. It's a drum roll. It's called Street Smarts, and it's all about American civics. And let me just...
Today's episode of Street Smarts Civics Edition is on the Declaration...
Play the video right now for a bit.
Independence.
Here we go.
Right.
Visit PragerUkids.com to download this handy and awesome infographic and play along.
Here we go. Street Smarts.
This is Street Smarts, a game show on the street where contestants are rewarded for their knowledge. Welcome to Street Smarts Civics Edition. I am your host, Kali Fontanilla with PragerU Kids, and we are here at the beautiful Santa Monica Pier, and we are going to see what kids know about the Declaration of Independence.
And I want you to have some fun with us. Let's go.
I love that.
Okay, Uncle Sam. Woohoo! All right, so what is your name?
Ella.
All right, welcome to Street Smarts. We're going to be testing your knowledge on the Declaration of Independence. Yes, and the questions go from easy to hard. You can always buy a clue for $2. For $5, you
I'm
can
going to
ask.
pause it real fast. So Miles, Uncle Sam, is here at PragerU with us. He works every day. He writes a bunch of stuff. He does a lot of our PragerU Kids content. He's amazing. The teacher, the woman that you saw, may be recognizable to you. Her name is Kali Fontanilla, and she is one of the who I like to affectionately call forces of a good teacher. She used to be a public school teacher here in California. She's since moved to Florida and has established an alternative education system for parents and kids who want homeschool. It's called Exodus. Oh my gosh, I'm going to look it up. It's called Exodus Education, I believe. Exodus Education? I'm not asking you. I didn't ask you before. You have no idea what I'm talking about. It's called Exodus Education, but she is one of the teachers who pushed back against her school district years ago and said, I am not teaching children about the political Black Lives Matter organization. I will not be teaching children to separate themselves by skin color or race or ethnicity. And she's really an amazing teacher, and she is the host of a few of these episodes. Kids. Oops, back to the episode. We're asking kids.
Declaration of
about
Independence!
Oh, she didn't complete. She didn't complete.
She didn't
Saved yourself. You saved it.
And there really is a lot of knowledge.
Question
in this.
2.
So,
What day do we celebrate America's Declaration of Independence? A, Memorial Day, B, the 4th of July, C, Cinco de Mayo, D, President's Day.
July.
Say it again.
The 4th of July.
Yes,
there we
you
go.
got it.
All right, so those are the easy questions.
July?
I'll pause it right there. You guys can watch Street Smarts. We've got 3 episodes that have launched right out of the gate, available for your kids now. We like to say that this series is for 3rd through 5th graders. I also think that it is really good for 6th grade and up, junior high, because the questions get progressively harder.
They do.
And fun fact, I myself have learned a lot about American civics that was lacking in my own education.
Yeah, no, me too. Miles was going around the office yesterday asking us questions, and there were a couple hard ones. I think I got them all right, but I had to think for a little bit, and I think that really speaks to how important this education is. But it's a super fun series. We're really proud of it. Check it out. It's awesome. I love it.
It's great. I myself have learned a lot from PragerU Kids, full disclosure. Okay, do we have any Facebook comments, anything before we sign off?
We do have somebody asking what the title of the Otto's Tale book that you have there is.
The title of why, thank you for your question. The title of the Otto's Tales book is Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And this is a book that you can find on our website. We're actually selling them through Amazon at this moment in time. But the Storytime video for kids to watch and follow along if you have the book, or just watch if you don't have the book. The Storytime episode, Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, is also on our PragerU website, PragerUkids.com. And the guy reading it is none other than Corey Yeshua. If any of you know Corey Yeshua from social media, from Instagram, he is the adorable young dad who went viral. I think he's gone viral like a few times now, but he went viral a few years ago with his then toddler daughter saying to the camera, don't let anyone ever stop you from doing what you love because of your skin color, and you can do whatever you want. And he's really just a true testament to what it really means to not accept that victim mentality that so many schools and organizations are trying to feed young Black Americans. So anyways, that's what we have for you today. A la PragerU Kids, new series Street Smarts. We've got our Protect Children's Innocence pledge that you can take to get more information and education about how to really fight back against the sexualization of our children. And we have Aldo Butazzoni's, right? Did I say it right?
Very good,
Okay,
Jill.
good.
Thank you.
We have Aldo's extremely shocking, but also not so shocking in this day and age, video of LA Zoo's recent family-friendly drag show that happened last week that you can watch just to stay informed. So with that, thank you for joining me, Aldo.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's great.
Okay. Everyone have a great week. If you have not subscribed to PragerUkids.com yet, subscribe. It's free. We are here for you to educate the next generation for our future. Bye-bye.
See ya.